People who say "I'm fine" the most are often the ones hiding the deepest pain. And the truth is, you might be surrounded by people like this every day and not even realize it. Some people have mastered the art of looking okay on the outside while quietly struggling on the inside. They show up, they smile, they support everyone else, but behind that calm exterior, there's a completely different story. In this video, we're going to explore 9 powerful psychology facts about people who hide their pain, and once you understand these, you'll start seeing people very differently. Let's begin. Fact 1. They learned early that their pain was a burden. For many people who hide their emotions, this pattern didn't start recently. It started in childhood. Maybe they were told not to cry. Maybe they were ignored when they tried to express how they felt. Or maybe they grew up in an environment where there simply wasn't space for their emotions. So they adapted. They learned to stay quiet, to not complain, to not create problems. Over time, this creates a belief deep inside them that their pain is inconvenient to others. And because of that belief, they stop sharing it completely. Not because they don't feel anything, but because they don't feel safe expressing it. And that pattern often stays with them for years, even into adulthood. But what's interesting is this doesn't make them emotionally distant. In fact, it does the opposite. Fact 2. They are often the most empathetic people. People who carry pain silently become incredibly sensitive to the emotions of others. Because they know what it feels like to struggle quietly, they notice when someone else is not okay. They pick up on small changes. They notice tone, behavior, energy. They check on people others overlook. They become the listener, the supporter, the one everyone relies on. But here's the irony. They are always there for others, but rarely allow anyone to be there for them. They give emotional support freely, but struggle to receive it. And over time, this imbalance starts to take a toll. Fact 3. They are mentally and emotionally exhausted. Hiding pain is not something that happens passively. It requires constant effort. They have to monitor how they speak, control their expressions, hold back what they truly feel. They are constantly managing 2 realities at once, the one the world sees and the one they keep hidden. And that creates a kind of exhaustion that is very hard to explain. It's not just physical tiredness. It's a deep mental fatigue that doesn't go away with rest. Sometimes when they say, "I'm just tired," it's not about sleep. It's about everything they've been carrying inside. And because this pressure builds up silently, it doesn't always come out in obvious ways, which leads to the next point. Their pain comes out indirectly. When someone doesn't express their emotions directly, those emotions don't disappear. They find other ways to come out. Sometimes it shows up as irritability, getting frustrated over small things. Sometimes it shows up as withdrawal, pulling away from people without explanation. And sometimes it turns into perfectionism, trying to control everything, trying to be flawless as a way to cope with what they feel inside. From the outside, these behaviors can be misunderstood. People may think they're being difficult, distant, or overly serious. But in reality, it's often unexpressed pain, trying to find a way out. And if this continues for too long, something important happens. Fact 5. They don't break gradually, they break suddenly. Because they've been holding everything in for so long, there are no small releases, no regular emotional outlets. So when the pressure becomes too much, it doesn't leak slowly, it bursts. To others, it may seem sudden. One moment they look fine, and the next moment they completely break down. But the truth is, that moment has been building for a long time. It's not one bad day. It's months or even years of unspoken pain finally reaching its limit. And this is why their struggles are often misunderstood, because people only see the breaking point, not everything that led to it. And even then, something surprising happens. Fact 6. They rarely ask for help, even when they need it the most. This is one of the most difficult parts. The people who need support the most are often the least likely to ask for it.
because asking for help goes against everything they've learned. They don't want to feel like a burden. They don't want to inconvenience anyone. They don't want to be seen as weak. So instead of reaching out, they stay silent. They deal with everything on their own, even when it becomes overwhelming. And because of that, people around them may assume they're doing okay. But the reality is very different. Which is why, if you care about someone like this, waiting for them to ask for help may not work. Sometimes you have to take the first step. Because deep down, they do want something. Fact 7. They want someone who can see through their "I'm fine." They don't need someone to force them to open up. They don't need pressure. They don't need dramatic conversations. What they need is understanding. They want someone who notices the small things. Someone who can look at them and say, "I know you say you're okay, but I'm here if you're not." That kind of presence, that quiet support, can mean more than anything, because it gives them permission. Permission to lower their guard, permission to be real, even just for a moment. And sometimes that moment is enough to start something important. Fact 8. They often hide behind the word "fine." "I'm fine" is one of the most common phrases they use, but most of the time, it doesn't mean what it sounds like. If you pay attention, you'll notice the difference. The slight pause before they say it, the lack of energy in their voice, the forced smile. Sometimes what people don't say reveals more than what they do, and learning to notice that can change the way you understand others, because behind that simple word, there is often a deeper truth waiting to be seen. And finally, fact 9, being truly seen can begin to heal them. When someone who hides their pain finally feels understood, something shifts. Not instantly, not completely, but something begins. Because being seen, truly seen, is one of the most powerful emotional experiences a person can have. It tells them they don't have to pretend anymore. They don't have to carry everything alone. And for someone who has been hiding their pain for so long, that can be life-changing. So, if you are someone who hides your pain, I want to say something to you. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to keep everything inside. Your feelings are valid, and your pain is not a burden. And if you know someone like this, a simple message, a simple check-in can mean more than you realize. Sometimes just being there is enough. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments which facts stood out the most. And if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe, because sometimes understanding people can change everything.